there's his color line, and he's got a little bow tie here just stamped right into his feathers. It's kind of interesting. Okay, so there we have it. There's a sketch and a sketch. Okay. We need some kind of a tail hanging down back here. Okay, there's his tail. Okay, now, I think last time I promised I would use a combination of pens for you. So I'm going to use a combination of pens. So again, I'm going to use a Uniball Vision Elite, just because I have one around, and a V-Razor Pilot, okay? And that's just a fiber tip pen. And this is a ballpoint pen, okay? So ballpoint pens you can push a lot harder on. Fiber tip pens you want to be really careful with because you'll snap the nib off them. Okay, you don't want to push very hard with a ballpoint pen. Okay, so I'm going to use a combination of ink that will not run or that is not water soluble, and I'm going to use a combination of ink that will run or that is water soluble. Okay, and we're going to do an ink wash on this guy. So first of all, I'm going to outline him with the ballpoint pen, and this is the pen that is not water soluble. Okay. And you don't have to do this part. This is just, I'm just doing this so that you guys can be entertained. I understand probably most of you don't have water-soluble pens around the house. You can check them though, if you want to. You just take a little bit, you basically just draw a little bit onto a paper and then take either a paintbrush or a little bit of water on your finger. Watch this. Take a little bit of water on my finger and then just go like this, and if it smears, if it does that, then it's water-soluble. And if it doesn't, then, here, this one really does, watch. See that? Okay, so these ballpoint pens to a certain extent are water soluble, but only until they dry. They're, I guess all pens are until they dry, but you want the ones that are after they dry. That's the magic. Okay, so I'm going to outline his eyebrows. Then I'm going to put a few hatch lines in there. Okay, outline there. This was a request from Lane, by the way. So if anybody has any requests, post them on our Facebook page and I'll try to get to them. Oh, I gave him a big roll in his neck now. Looks like he hasn't been to the gym in a while. Okay, so there we go. Just ask your parents to put a request on Facebook and I will try to draw whatever you like. And the reason I'm doing line, 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 sort of scrubbing these lines in, is because this is a very fine tip pen. So I'm trying to thicken these lines up a bit, okay? You can just do one line if you like, if that's your preference. Put a few little details in his legs here. Whoops, a little wide on his leg there, that's okay. I make mistakes all the time. The most important thing is, if you make a mistake, is you just make it work. You know, there's no point in scrubbing your paper up and throwing it away and saying I'm terrible or whatever. Because even the best artists make mistakes all the time. They just don't tell you. But I do. I make mistakes constantly. But if you incorporate your mistakes into your drawing, then it will look like your drawing. It won't look like a photocopy of somebody else's drawing. Okay? So leave your mistakes in. I really like to leave my work and stuff too. I really like to leave my gesture lines, my sketches. I like to leave all that stuff in. But you guys can erase it if you like. That's just my own preference. I love to see my favorite books when I buy art books are the ones that have sketches. I absolutely love concept art. So if I find a little, like if I find a Star Trek book or something, or, you know, and they show the concept, so they do all the sketches first before they create the characters. I absolutely love that stuff. Okay, so I'm just going to check the camera, make sure it's going fine here. Yeah, good. Okay, and then we are going to now use the water-soluble pen, okay? And then I'll put a little ink wash on him. Okay, so now I want his eyebrows to go dark, so I'm going to put water-soluble ink on his eyebrows. I know I'm going to want a little bit of shadow in here, so I'm going to put some in there. I know I'm going to look a little shadow there. I'm just putting little drops of it now. See, there's little tiny hatch spots where I'm going to pick up that ink. And I'm going to move it around. See, so little hatches there. A few little hatches here. I know that I want the underside of his wing to be shadowed because that will make him look 3D. Okay, and a little bit here. You don't want to overdo it. Maybe a little there. His tie, I think I'm going to want it to be washed in. His tail for sure, because it's back there. You want to push that back, right? You want to shadow pushes things away, light brings them forward. A little bit on his foot, a little bit on his foot, here and there, because I want that to be shadowed. I'm going to thicken this leg out just a little to try and equalize where I made that mistake. Okay, he's looking pretty good. Looks more like a butler than a spy to me, but that's okay. Okay, so now I'm going to spray a little bit of water on my plate here. This is what my plate looks, by the way. I was doing watercolor painting. And now it just looks like a big flood of pink or magenta, red, and yellow. Okay, cadmium yellow. Absolutely love cadmium yellow. Cadmium yellow, yellow ochre. Love those two colors in paintings. I'm trying to keep the water color away from this clean water. Okay, so now I'm just going to use just clean water on a watercolor brush again. Okay, and I'm going to go into the areas. Try not to use too much water, so I'll just get rid of a little bit of paper there. Try not to use or go into the inky parts with too much water. But what I'll do first is I'll just pick some of that ink up. See, I'm using this area here to load my brush. And then I will, see, right there, see it's picking up that ink. So I'll just wash around. Inside his eye, if I put a line down here, down the inside of his eye, it pushes his eye back, or it pushes this part of his face back and actually brings his eyes forward, okay? So there, see, that's nice, right there, isn't that nice? See this? Ooh, that's looking good. See, he's already looking pretty 3D. So I just reloaded my brush with water, get rid of a little bit of water off my brush. And then now I remember putting a lot of ink in here. So I will push up with that ink to there. See? Makes it look 3D. Up to there. Makes it look 3D. Pretty nice. And then I'll use that ink that I have in my brush now to push this and this back, because shadow pushes things away and light brings them forward. I'm going to reload my brush here and then push that shadow away, okay? And that makes it now look like it's rounded under, which if he has a, big pigeon belly on him, it would be rounded under. So there we go, a little bit on his leg, a little on his leg, a little on his feet. Try to leave some of them highlighted. Try not to paint the whole thing out. Just a little darkness here and there. Doesn't even have to be really accurate. Okay, and then I'm going to put this on his tie. I'm also going to shadow away the bottom side of his beak. And I think that's it. Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to put a little bit more on his tail because I don't like how lit his tail is at this point. I really want that tail to be pushed back and away. There. He looks good. Oh, and then one more thing. If you put a little shadow on the ground, it helps to sit him down. Just a second. Do I have any India ink anywhere? Nope. I think I left my India ink at the studio. Here. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I have my little... I absolutely love these little pocket field sketch watercolors. I'm just going to use a little bit of black if I can find it. Yeah, there's some right there. Perfect. Just one moment. I appreciate your patience, everybody. Thank you. Okay, I got a little black watercolor on my brush now. A little bit of water. Okay, and then I'll just go like this, and I'll just give them a